Let's look at ratepayers. You know, majority of my ratepayers vanish credit to council. They are not paying their rates. Why are they not paying their rates? You are getting $40. For $40 ipapo, ndipo pane mari yemarate, ndipo pane mari yechikafu, ndipo pane mari yemedication. Tell me, how can someone asingagari muNorton give a policy kuti endai munodai, you know, asingazive the situation yacho iri paground?
Yes. Honorable Tsvangirayi, welcome to the program. It's a pleasure to have you here. Right. Before we start, can you tell us, Jananonzi Richard Tsvangirayi?
Well, thank you very much for having me on this very important podcast. Who's Richard Tsvangirayi? Richard Tsvangirayi is 32 years old man who grew up in Norton, did everything that every child goes through in Norton. Played Chikweshe in the streets of Katanga. Now I'm a Member of Parliament and elected in 2023, serving the people of Norton in the House of Assembly. In short, that's Richard Tsvangirayi for you.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit background about your upbringing, growing up? How was it as a young kid in Katanga?
Well, growing up in Katanga, very interesting life and very normal life. You know, ukanojukura mugeto, there are things that you cannot run away from. For example, issues to do with maybe because you don't have much entertainment things to do.
Yeah.
So you played football, muchikweshe, streets. Apart from that, went to school here at Norton 1 Primary School. Just a typical, you know, life of like a young person in the streets of Katanga. Nothing special, but I was very fortunate to have my mother with me growing up, which she played a critical role in terms of instilling certain values, values of respect, values of responsibility, values of accountability, and these are the values that I still carry on today.
All right, so I'm sure your name carries a lot of weight. I'm sure we all know that. Growing up as a teenager, especially your late father, how was it? Were you in any kind of pressure from others? Tell us, how was it?
Well, you know what? At that time, as a young person, probably I didn't understand the weight that the surname carries. Maybe the privileges that comes with the surname of Tsvangirayi, the access that comes with a certain with the name Tsvangirayi. But it also comes with responsibilities, right? You need to carry yourself in a certain way. Those type of responsibilities actually prepares you, to makes you grow, right? So maybe ukwenda kuchikoro, you know, so you are forced to behave in a certain way because of the surname that you carry. But apart from that, it's just the responsibilities that comes with having the surname of Tsvangirayi. Yeah.
Did you encounter any bullying?
Of course. You know, we live in a very politically polarized country. Right? It's either you real opposition or real MTC. There is no in between. So, of course, when the late father used to go through my issues all politically, you know, you would find people saying certain things. You know, Baba lose the election, you know, those type of things. And you also find even the teachers as well. That's how bad it was. I remember this other time. I was playing football. I was actually very good at football.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. So I was playing
which position?
I was basically I was a midfielder.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a midfielder. I used to play in the attacking midfielder, or I used to play the defensive midfielder. But so I still remember we were playing football in primary, and I don't know, I made a mistake. And I remember one of the teachers said, "Don't lose my elections." You know,
Wow.
to think about it now, it appears to be funny, but it really affected me back then. You know, because you're just a child, you don't know what's happening, and it's not your fault that you are born in this type of. You don't choose our parents at the end of the day, so. Those are some of the things that were the type of bullying that I was going through growing up. Yeah.
So didn't it affect your schoolwork, your concentration at school?
Not really. Well, my I want to give credit to my mother because she's I spent my childhood with her more than my father because, you know, my father used to be very busy. So I spent majority of my time with my mother. So she's the type of person that, you know, used to do in terms of like building my confidence, in terms of like knowing who I am as a young person. She did a lot of work, you know, to just motivate me as a young person. So I want to give credit to her.
And you didn't tell us which high school did you go to?
So, I went to, let me just say I was at Prince Edward. That's where I finished my A level.
Okay.
Yeah, but I went to other multiple schools, but I finished at Prince Edward.
Okay.
Yeah.
And during your time at high school, were you involved in any leadership positions or school politics?
To be honest with you, in high school, I didn't want anything to do with politics at all. I didn't want. I actually thought I was going to, because I was focusing on. I wanted to be in architecture.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my plan. After I go study architecture, after doing that, maybe start my own firm. Right. So when it comes to leadership, I was at some point. I was a house. They call it a house fed. You know, where you are a prefect in a dormitory.
Okay.
So, but it didn't end up well. I ended up being.
What happened?
I was actually demoted. It's a long story. But, well,
were you the naughty one, mischievous one at school?
Well, I would say I was a very stubborn young man. I was a very stubborn man. I didn't get along with authority. I used to fight authorities all the time. So I think that's one of the key elements of being a politician. Yeah. You have to be a very stubborn person. You know, for you to be able to change things, you have to be very stubborn. Yeah.
So we can safely say maybe you were instrumental in whatever revolt that happened at school during that time. Food-wise or anything, you know, school politics.
Yeah, low key. Low key, I would say I used to play those type of roles but it is what to do with demonstrating or stubbornness. I was at the center of it.
I can imagine multiple visits, quite principal.
Yeah, I think I do have a story. Actually, my mother and my sister can actually testify to that. Trip at Prince Edward, where they once called to school. You know, we had tanga tajamba chikoro taenda kubawa.
Was this on the weekend?
It was on the weekend. Yeah, so now my mom had to be called and they had to explain so many things. We had to go through the accountability from the school, the punishment, all those things. So those are some of the things that I...
And you carrying that name?
I think, the thing is, as a young person, you're just curious. You understand?
Yeah.
You want to know what's out there. So I think it wasn't anything to do with me being a bad child or anything. I think it has to do with just curiosity to just know what's up, what's happening out there. Yeah, I think it was just a phase. I think every young person go through that phase.
It's normal.
Yeah, it's not abnormal. Every young person go through that phase.
Okay, so you finished high school. Upper 6-year period. What happens next?
So upper 6-year period, I then went to university. I then went to university. I studied economics.
Okay.
Yeah, I studied economics. So I think I had a year gap where I was just trying to figure out what I want to do, right? And just, talking to people, at that particular time, that's when my interest in politics started to grow.
Was it here in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, here in Zimbabwe.
You went to university in Zimbabwe?
No, I didn't go to here in Zimbabwe. I was in China.
Okay.
So I then I went through a phase where I was just talking hanging out, spending more time with my father. So that's when I started growing interest in politics. At that time as well, I started to get myself in volunteering here in Norton. Was mobilizing resources, channeling them to orphanages. So that's what I was doing at that time. And also I started to understand more what was happening in the country, the economic inequalities that we see here in Norton, whether young people are failing to access education, whether it's, failing to get basic services like water, like if you look at the roads, all those things, right? That's when I started to understand a bit more. So that's when my interest in politics started to grow. My interest in public service started to grow at that time. Yeah. So
you spent how many years in China?
So I spent 4 years in China.
So you are actually fluent in Chinese.
My Chinese is not now. It's not fluent. It's a struggle, but I can have a simple conversation, I think.
Yeah. So tell us, how was it as a young boy? You finished high school. You've landed in China for the first time. You've seen all that development, all that infrastructure and everything there. And you're comparing from what you left back home. Deep down, how did it make you feel?
Well, it's obviously it's to see the difference between Zimbabwe and China. It inspires you. It inspires you to go back and want to work on your country. Like one thing that really surprised me is how quick the Chinese are at building things, right? Or at completing a certain project, right? The project that we see here in Zimbabwe taking maybe 5 years, to them it's just maybe 6 months. That's certain and the hard work that the Chinese people, the culture of hard work that the Chinese have, I think it's something as a country we need to copy from. And and that level of development, it's how they mobilize their resources, how they they are able to complete project within a short period of time. I think it's something that we need to copy from China, from the Chinese, and implement here. So it's how the state plays a critical role in terms of development, right? How the state plays a critical role in terms of channeling certain resources in certain sectors. I think it's something that us as government need to learn from. Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, you come back. You finished your economics degree. You come back from China. Do you go to work? What happens during that period?
So when I came back from China, I then struggled to get work, right? And I tried to apply for certain jobs. I didn't get it, and then I started. I managed to get a certain capital. Yeah, and then I started the real estate.
Okay.
So I started buying properties, renovate it, and put it back on the market. So that's what I was doing for a certain period of time. I'm still doing it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was business then?
Well, you know, like business in real estate, it was good. You know, I had no responsibilities at all. So the money, the profit that I was getting was going straight into my pocket. So I would say business was good. Although, you know, the economic environment wasn't conducive,
yes,
right? Because of the taxes that we were paying. So you find out that if the capital gain taxes that you'd pay, all those taxes, majority of your money is going to the government. I hate that. I really hate that. You know, like Zimbabwe, the taxes are just too much. So it kills business. But overall, in terms of like people buying the properties and stuff, yeah, it was doing well. I was doing well. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Right. Fast forward. Let's go to 20. Okay, let's go back a bit to 2018. Mdara is no more. Were you ever hopeful for the movement as far as continuity is concerned? Mdara swasisipo shafamba say, you know.
Yeah, of course, I was very hopeful that the movement was going to continue. Because everything was there in place, right? The structures, the ideology was there, and everyone. Remember, at that time, there was MDC Alliance. So everyone, Dara did everything to put everyone on board, to say, let's work together to find solution to the, to the authoritarian rule that was happening at that time, still happening. So I thought, the movement was going to, continue. Yeah.
So during that time, did you ever have Fungoye Kutin, I may want to get into public office?
No, in 2018, I actually started, previous, because I started working in Norton for preparing myself to be a member of parliament since 2016.
Okay.
That's when I started preparing my ground.
Yes.
So 2018, there was actually a talk that in Norton that I was going to participate in in the 2018 elections.
Yeah.
But I thought at that time my ground was not ripe, so I needed to work more. So I spent from 2018 to up to 2023 working, building relations with people here.
And by that time, you had made up your mind.
Yeah, by that time I was already like I told you, I was already working in Norton, and I was doing philanthropy work. I was engaging people. So from there already, I knew what I wanted to do in as far as my career. So I invested a lot, right? That's what I was doing. And Shanda, my church. My funeral. I don't think my funeral is. I've attended so many funerals. Contributing, sometimes even contributing Mariangu and Ofano Digital say she's a developer as a person. She channel at in that area. So I was working, meeting people, building relations up until 2023 when I just fortunately, through the CCC party, I then get the opportunity to represent the people of Norton in the general election, which I then won.
How did you feel when you realized, okay, this is now real?
So, you know what, Pataka, because we campaigned, we really campaigned.
You were campaigning against a very formidable...
Yeah, we were campaigning. Like I was giving it my all, right? Because this is the only opportunity that I have. And also, I had to prove to people that young people can also do it, right?
How old were you during that time?
That time, I was 20, I think 28.
You were still very young.
I was still very young.
Yeah.
And the youngest in Norton, youngest MP in Norton. Norton has never seen a young MP like myself. So it was also an opportunity to prove to people that young people can also do it, right? So we were campaigning so hard. And in Norton at that time, I still remember, we in Eben, like from Ward 1 to Ward 18, we have close to like 23,000 households.
Wow.
I had to make sure that I knock on each door. Right? I knock on each door, talk to everyone. If they are not there, I have to make sure I drop a flyer, right, just to introduce myself to them, what I plan to do when I get the power, when I get into office, what I want to do. So we were working hard. So towards the election day, right, I was tired. I thought I was gonna. I was actually. I was exhausted. I had no energy to give in anymore. I was so skinny, like really skinny, like I lost weight, right? And then after the when the results were being announced, pakatanga kuannounced my results Ward 14, which is the rural end. We didn't do much there as far as campaigning. And maybe the political dynamics that are there as well. So we didn't do well. And the first results akatanga kuannounced angare ku pa railway 22, which is the area yanamtuva.
Yes.
And when we were campaigning there, we were attacked by ZANU-PF people there, right? So we didn't campaign there. So results are Tsvangirayi 22 votes. Muliswa about 300 something. And Maisha 300 something. Like election yapera guys. Not knowing the trend will going to change. So when the results from Ward 1, which is kunana governance, akatanga ku announce, then Richard 300, Muliswa 22, and that was the trend going forward, right up to Ward 18. So when we then realized that we won, and I was with, we were happy, of course.
Yes.
All the work that we have put in, finally being rewarded. We are seeing the results, and also just the people of Norton just having the trust in a young person that has no political experience, that has never had an office. It speaks volumes, and I'm very grateful for that. But now the responsibility is what? Atanga vanhu vakutanga kufona manje.
And these things are immediate.
It's immediately. MP wakufona the following day vanhu vatanga kufona manje. MP kumba kwaita dambudziko. Hakuna chikafu. Vana varara nenzara.
Right.
I'm just a young person, trust me. And I had no money at all to give. Everything that I had, I have put them in the campaign. My resources.
It was a big financial tour.
It was a big financial, especially for young people. Like one of the challenges that young people go through in terms of, that's why you have under-representation of young people in these political spaces, like the parliament, like the local councils, because of the money that is needed, the resources that are needed for you to be able to put a fight against these people. So you're fighting like people like Themba Mnisi, someone that has been in politics for so long.
Well established.
A well-established probably the money that he used during that campaign, close to like 200,000. you know.
Enough to buy a house.
The money that if you get that money, you can literally change your whole life.
Oh yes,
you know?
oh yes.
And he's putting it in a campaign, and you look at you are running a budget maybe like 20,000. You are just young for you to even do like the resource mobilization.
Yes.
You know, they don't want to put their money into you because they know, looking at things, looking on paper, it looks like Timber Mnifa was going to win the election.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because everything was pointing in his favor. He had the money, he had the popularity, he had the charisma.
Yes.
You understand?
The guy can talk.
Yeah, he can talk. He had the experience.
Very eloquent.
Yeah, he had the experience. And look at you now. You don't have those things, those qualities. So, but, you know, what you have is just, you know, the resilience, the hard work, you know, and the integrity, you know.
Yes.
You all have those things. So you just try to present yourself to the people that, look, I'm a better candidate than this, than the popular one. And also you have a better manifesto than them. You know, you actually have good ideas that can actually transform the lives of people. Yeah.
So, left, right, and center, you're getting calls day in and night. You're exhausted. Reality is beginning to sink in. Okay, this is now real. How then do you prepare yourself for the huge task ahead of you?
How do I prepare myself? I think, you know, because you can never, you know, with public office, you can never really prepare yourself because every day there's a new element, a new task that is coming forward. So I think what you need to do is probably to have a strong supporting system and a mentor, right? And you have to be very consultative when it comes to certain issues. You need to consult people. Right? From there, you then build your confidence. You then know what to, because already people, they know what they want, and they already have the solution. So for you now, you just have to consult them what they need to do, what they expecting. So from there you get the answers, and then you just maybe like go through certain offices and just push for their issues. But as far as preparing myself, just have that strong supporting system, particularly for my mother and my sister. You know, they really support me a lot.
A huge chunk of your constituency, I think it's normal throughout Zim, believe kuti basa ra MP ndere kugadzira maroad, ndere kunovaka hospital, ndere ku build schools, you know, to do all the work. For the sake of our viewers who may not know what the duties of an MP are, can you kindly explain?
So there are three mainly functions of a member of parliament, which is representation according to section 119 of the Zimbabwean constitution. It speaks to representation. Number one is representation. So basically representation, kungotora zvichemo zvevanhu nekuenda kunoadvocata in the House of Assembly, right? And number two, it's oversight. Oversight role is to make sure that, for example, Parliament passes a budget. Just now for a budget, national budget. So now we just need to track kuti mari idzodzo dzashandiswa nemazvo here. Dzasvika kune intended beneficiary, apana mari dzikubiwa here. And also, when it comes to oversight, also people are behaving within the confinement of the law.
Yes.
So that's oversight. Then number three is legislation. Legislation kugadzira mutemo wenyika. So for example, if makaona kuti mari yakabiwa mona kuti mari yakabiwa sei, and then you need to come up with laws to then deal with that. That's the legislation part. Panongo pane magaps aya mumutemo wedu, kana pane ma-laws are outdated. Ndipo patinongotaka kuita sei, takugadzisa mutemo iwo maybe tichi-align with the constitution wedu. Ndo basically three main functions yedu: legislation, oversight, and representation. Ndo machi ma functions are members of parliament. But of course, pane my expectations around.
Yes.
And also lack of information, right? And they believe kuti MP in the war, babawe. I don't know why people think like that. But that's what they believe. So you also try to manage and to meet that expectation of the people, right? So for you to stay relevant, actually, as a politician, you actually try to meet those expectations. Yes. Go now, you know, and also try to be transparent, as honest as you can, right, to meet that expectation. But like, we do have our own function, but also the city fathers, the council, also do and also deal with issues, the road maintenance, also basically service delivery. Yes, the council. Yeah, it's just ngoyo kana chingota so ma budgets awo mari dzawo dzofamba zvakanaka nepango kuratidza kuti operate within the confines of the law. Kana auditor general abudiso auditor general support yake. We then look at those financial statements of council to see if they were operating within the confines of the law. So that's basically what we do.
Yes, parliamentarians. Right. So people still think that MP is also there to make noise if things are not done properly and to put pressure on certain things. Let's say, for example, community made the issue of service delivery. Right. If things are not done properly, right? Isn't it also the role of the MP to make noise with, no guys, I'm just gonna up my.
Yeah, and it's that's part of the representation role that I was talking about. Noise actual, because for example, Norton Town Council doing some resolutions. Yes. Let's say with Padogazura Road, right? Norton Town Council doing Gara. That's why you have a councillor of every ward. Yes. Kuona uti road ye ward manke inakuita Gazireri. Then the do ku council, then we'll make a resolution to say that let's fix this road. Yes. Or this or akusus kamvura or cannot suaya panisua best or something like that. They go to council, they make a resolution, and then council then what? Deals with that, because council actually has a budget, you know, to deal with that. So it's part of our representation. But for the proximity, Norton is under CCC government, right? Majority of the councillors are CCC. That proximity that I have between the councillors and the MP, I can easily go to them and then talk to them about certain issues. But what we do now, the normal procedure is for us to take that issue to Parliament. Yes. To say to the ministry of the responsible ministry of local government, to say that road, you take it to the responsible ministry, yes, which is the Ministry of Transport, to say what are you guys doing, you know, to address that road. That's how you amplify the voices of the people in the House of Assembly. That's how you bring that representative democracy. Yeah.
So
well, it's you know what, we need to understand the political dynamics of our country, right? Our country is very polarized, right? Everything that we do is seen politically, right? Is seen through political lenses. So sometimes you take up an issue to say that Norton, for example, Norton Hospital, upon a dialysis machine. Yes. People are traveling 40 kilometers to go to Paranaatwa or to Harare Hospital to access my dialysis machine, right? It's increasing costs, it's, you know. So if you bring that issue to the minister, you know, for them to be able to deal with that issue right away, it's from particularly if you're from an opposition person, it's probably going to take you time. But it's the good thing about you just keep fighting for the people. Yes. You just keep raising those issues until I say, no issue, but you also have an issue of resources as a country, right? But well, yeah, my resources, it's another issue that, you know, that is affecting us as a country as well, because, you know, we have so many challenges.
Yes, yes.
But in terms of like dealing with my issues, I don't need my resources. And one of the challenges that we have had as a country is corruption, right? We do have resources that are we are losing so much through corruption as a country, right? It's so Marinos or Sarah now to address my services challenges, so that's the challenges that we have. So you find with the minister, you have that issue. So because of corruption, we are losing so much through corruption, right? So it's a challenge that we are facing as a country, and so many countries that are facing that challenges as well. Yeah.
It's a big challenge.
Yeah, it's a big challenge.
It's a big challenge. So you said issue my resources. I follow your WhatsApp channel. There's this post that you made a few days ago. I think it was on Wednesday, when you were posting about Norton Hospital being commissioned with the theatre. I'll quote you the first paragraph. You said, "When I drilled this borehole at Norton Hospital, my goal was to improve the water supply." Are you saying that you drilled this borehole personally from your own funds, or it was through donors?
Well, it's that bore, we drilled it, we mobilized the resources. We mobilized it, so it wasn't necessary from my own pocket, although I contributed certain amount. But majority of the money came through other developing partners in the business community. Right? Yeah. So it was after I went to hospital, Norton Hospital, and the administration told me that this is the challenge that we're having as a Norton Hospital. So can you assist us? So that's when I then mobilized the resources to then drill that bore. Yeah.
Okay. And
remind you, at that time, Norton Hospital, when it comes to simple what you call it, medical procedures. They had to travel to Parenyatwa, they travel to Harare Hospital. Kugomo. And imagine the cost that we just struggle and the cost. You understand? Because if you had money, you probably go to a private hospital. So when we kwenda kunupa Norton Hospital, vanhu vasitorina mari. So imagine wasvika ipapo once tite operation you need to travel apa. We could travel to Gomo. Imagine the cost that you have to inquire. So we then realized that that was the challenge, and then we managed to deal with that challenge. Now, Norton Hospital is for theatre. So instead of traveling long distance, we are saving lives by doing that, and also cutting costs for many families.
So this theatre is now servicing what, maternity or other minor operations?
I think it's just for now it's just a minor, because they still have to do a lot of things. But minor operation, for example, when you want to give birth, maternity, you still have to. They can deal with that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. So continuing, Norton. I see you are quite involved in a lot of things around Norton. You even mentioned funerals. As an MP, and the people do acknowledge that. You've been there many times, right? We have other issues, especially to the young ones, issues such as drug abuse. There seems to be not much movement as far as dealing with drug abuse and the supply as well. Several times, like ukaenda kana pakatanga papa. Pese panoenda ndikusangana munhu akutarega. Akutopenga. Not because of anything else, but because I put them to real. What are you as an MP doing, using your powers?
So challenge my drugs. I think there are three challenges or variables that we need to look into. So we have the demand side, right? vanhu vari kudhimanda madrugs vakuda madrugs.
Yeah, demand is quite high.
And demand is quite high. And in simple economics, supply goes where demand is.
Yes.
Hapana pauno deliver chingwa kunukusurudiwa chingwa. Yeah, you deliver my drugs because there's a what? There's a market for that. So how is the market or the demand is being created? Is the issue. We need to look at the issue of idleness or the issue of employment, right? We do have an economy that is failing to provide jobs to its young people. So if you have that situation, right, you do then have social problems like drug and substance abuse. So the challenge that we are currently having is for us is the lack of jobs. You know, as anyone, right? Anokuzota ita ndina basa ndikuda basa, need something to do, you know, and mind yechidiki kana ichiri mind yemunhu wese wechidiki, you know, dzichiri kumhanya mhanya. So if you don't give them something to do, they end up doing the wrong things. Haisi mind inogona kungotora ita I just wanna go kunogara kumba, you know. He inongochisoda kutoita something, you know, because they have the energy, right? So if you don't give them a job, if the economy is failing to provide jobs, the certain basic things, then you do find young people actually don't need drugs. So what have I done in terms of dealing with the issues of jobs? You know, we have been moving motions in Parliament to then look at my incentives that tingakwanisa kupa companies kuti vakwanise kuemploy young people, right? Recently we were discussing the tax policy nonzi yet youth employment tax incentives, right, which gives my incentives to my company when we employ young people. But surprisingly, my companies are not utilizing that opportunity. So we're looking into that to see how can we make it more attractive for young people.
Do they know about the policy though?
I'm sure that's another thing. There's still, because our plan is to call the companies. They need to a consultation to say why are you not utilizing this policy? Then we look into that. Then another issue that we need to look into is because if you look at our pass rate, A level, it's 30%.
It's very low.
Yeah, 30%. Pass form 4, now you can go further.
Yes.
You know, so 70% are varkwenda kupi, right? Vamwe varkwenda ma technical skills, my VCT, which is very important because you need the skills for you to be able to get a job.
Yes.
Right. So if you fail form 4, likely you don't have the skills for you to be to participate in the job market, for you to be employable. So we need to skill up these young people, right? So that's why we have been advocating for the funding in kuma vocational training center, so that vana vakwanisa say vafano ku incorporate kuma vocational training center, vaone ma skills anoita kuti vaite say vaone something to do.
Yes.
Right. Vamwondo vaunona vanodzokorodza, but vashoma vanodzokorodza. Vakawanda vacho ndo vanonga vakuona vari kuma bridge, they have nothing to do. Vamwe vacho mbo vaunona kuti say my drugs. So we need to deal on that demand side. Then on the supply side now, we need to deal with our laws. Yes. Right. We had a bill which was dealing with those issues, right? It's called Drug and Substance something bill. I forgot the title. Bill is in the second reading. Okay. Yeah, it's still in Parliament. Takateta ma consultation in that bill. So Bureau Dorcha Indoneta say no closer the gaps aripo. Then also number 3, another problem is enforcement. You know. Problem that we have maporisa yedu maritsa vakuwana from the government. It's the shoma. You know. So those also compromise the enforcement in maporisa because here not or not, you know, zvirina notintorekana $300 then they say vanangu chikoro from corruption kuma drug dealers because mapurisa nongoya ungonza 300 yako ona zvaunoita osiya munhu achita zvanoita, you know, because our purisa are not getting paid enough. Yes. But if you're getting paid enough, you can easily say what? Okay, gatite say ngati you don't see the need yokupiwa $300. So that's another issue that we have been working on, to say that we need to pay our civil, our men in uniform maricha edzo dzinoita sei dziri above the minimum wage.
Dzinotengawo.
So kuti munhu anokwanisa kurarama a decent life. So that's the problem yatinayo. Then another issue, if you look at majority of these trucks, they are coming from countries like South Africa.
Yes.
They are not being produced in Zimbabwe.
Like your Bronkley.
The crystal meth, they are not Zimbabwean drugs. These are drugs that are being imported in other countries. But the challenge at night is you look at the situation at our border. They are polarized. My drugs are not opened anyway. So we need to strengthen our border security, our border patrol. We need to capacitate them so that we strengthen my borders ahead. So those three major issues that we have been advocating for. And also lastly, what I was trying to do, let's work with the South African government to say that, look, munema drugs are produced kuno. How can we have that holistic approach so that we are able to deal most of that manufacturing that is happening in your country, right? So that I transported to Zimbabwe. So no, my issues are to try to look into.
So there's a lot that needs to be done.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
All right, so community. What can the community do? Well, it seems like we're overwhelmed. On the grassroots, what can local community people do?
So I think the community, what they can do, number one, we must report, we must work with the law enforcement.
But Honorable Ndika reporter, Mpurisoskopi 300.
Apiwa chukana maona shitika, then you take up the issue then we will push like what we are doing. We will demand for accountability for such corrupt people. Yeah, we will definitely demand accountability for such people.
Pane issue was, I think, it's really related as well. Issue of crime within the community. I'm sure a couple of months ago, Panema made the Sakaitika, and there's a lot that's going on. There's certain places I remember Nantitikwa Gofans a week ago. Pane Komananga Kumaisavana, I ever going to think somebody mas. It was around 5:30. But Chena parod. And you could tell go to Munu Abviracha trace of Vakare. Probably that's what I'm not thinking $5. $5 yo. And it's also a result of unemployment, idleness, or probably addiction. Because drug abuse, it's a habit that needs to be funded. Right? So we seem to have, my issues where they're intertwined. Right? And then we have my anti-drug campaigns, my less analytical. But I think like campaign one wagongofamba bata bana. What Paradam Street, so the period that's it back to normal. I mean, I look my campaign.
So my campaign awareness is important, especially uchi dealer never no city. But such what I'm going to trunks. So ndo wano educator maybe vachiri kuchikoro ndo vanoshanda ma campaigns to uchivaonesa kuti aiwa ma drugs aya akadai. But what are we doing kune vanhu vatori addicted?
Yes.
that's where the problem is. Because very addicted, like what you said, that addiction need to be funded. Ndo vanhu vanotanga kuenda vakuda kufunda that addiction through crime. Vakubira vanhu varikudai. So vanhu ivavo, we need to target those people. That's why we have been talking about my centers, right? Are not dealing such people, which are state funded, right? Which are state funded.
So Munomunoto and Atina Rehabilitation Center is state funded.
Munomunoto and Atina Rehabilitation it is state funded.
Is there anything on
what we have? We have a private one. Fasa.
Yeah.
It will go and do Batsira, and they are doing a good job, a fantastic job in terms of. But so if it's private, people who are in the private sector, they are there for what? They are there for profit.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
They are not there for just to give like free services.
Is there anything on the cards to have a facility that is state funded?
Yeah, the plan is there. The plan is there. So we've been pushing for more funding towards each I think each province, but now we are trying to work to push with per district place per once or one a rehabilitation center.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
So, but that's the main issue, because those people, Munagutor is a victim, so we need to treat them, right,
as quickly as possible.
As quickly as possible, right? We need to treat them. Failure to do so, people anotanga ma crimes rates achingo kwirawo achingo daro. Yeah.
Right. Pane also issue ma suicide. I'm sure you've been following. Committed suicide. Is there anything to put in place to especially mental health issues?
Yeah, you know the thing is, my issues are mental health illness. My issues are like like back then we didn't take my issues very seriously as a country.
Even culturally, not
culturally, yeah. So now, but I remember this other time ndakaenda ku imwe funeral yemwe young person anga Tsvangirayi. I think he lost about $60 per chindegi. You know chindegi?
Yeah.
So I lost about $60, and then and Mario yanga ainzi yanga fanwe my exam fee. So I was Tsvangirayi. So I went there, and then I was trying to have a conversation with my parents. I addressed my funeral to say that, you know, it's very important to build a relationship with your child, so that they know, you know where your child is, right? Because you have that, you know, that relationship with your child, so that can my challenges I will face, so we are able to address my challenges before it's too late.
Yes.
Right. So I think from a household point of view, we need to have those relationships, right? And we need to be sensitive to one another. You know.
Yes.
we just need to be sensitive as a community. You know. So I think we need to change that mentality, that cultural thing. We just need to change it. But from a policy point of view now, from a government point of view, I think it's very important to come up with, okay, my awareness as well from a local level.
Yes.
It's very important because we need to educate our people to say that if we have a challenge, talk to someone, right? We need to educate them. So from a police point of view, we need to come up with my policy. I need to support my issues around mental health challenges. Maybe a bit in our schools, we need to have a therapist, are free, judge. You know, those things, you know, for us to be able to deal with that. It's not like, because my mental health issues are, these are very complicated issues.
Yes.
Yeah, they
are unique.
Yeah, and they are unique. And munano yanima challenge akasiana. You understand? Some of them, they are, you know, maybe domestic violence, drugs, so. But what is very important is we need to fund that whole thing as a government. Yeah.
Can the private sector also chip in?
Yeah.
And if yes, how?
Of course, yeah. I think the private sector has also have a role to play, right, in terms of like dealing with that. Well, coming up with my like what FASA did, coming up with my hospitals and not dealing with that. It's another way that the private sector can also play a crucial role, right? But the challenge that we have with the private sector is that these are my services, they come at a profit.
Yes.
For them, because for them to be sustainable, they have to get something from their operations. So that's where the challenge is, where some people cannot access my facilities there. But for those that cannot access my facilities there, that's why the public sector, the government should fund.
Yes.
So that those that cannot afford can also have access my services to my government hospitals. Yeah.
Right. Moving on. Honorable, recently council yakaenda ikanophasa msikelana. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yes.
Many people in Tengesa and were left displaced. They were left exposed. Can you talk to me about that?
Right. So I think first thing that I want to say is that let me first start by saying I strongly sympathize with my vendors. Right. I strongly sympathize with my vendors. And given the economic environment that we have, where we have an economy that is failing to provide jobs to its people, you then have people
Yes.
right? So for them to come and try to earn an honest living,
Yes.
it's so insensitive, right? And it's going to increase the economic inequalities in our country, right? And poor, my social crimes, major from that, you're going to see. So that strategy or that policy, that whoever came with that policy, they don't understand the realities of our people, right? So the challenge that we have with council, or the way the war governance, the way these policies are being crafted,
Yes.
right? So that was a directive from the Minister of Local Government,
Okay.
right? Giving directive to council, right? To say that, right? So tell me, how can someone asingagare Norton give a policy kutenda mnodai, asingaziye the situation actually background?
Yes.
So that's where the problem is. We don't want people are electing councils to make policies on their behalf. But the councillors are not making policies. The policies are being drafted by the minister, who does not understand the situation that is on the ground.
So are you saying that effectively councillors are pretty much of no use?
That's what they're basically, that's basically what it is. Because mimi maka electwa kunzi mumeke ma policies and maku overridwa with the higher authority. Why are then people electing you? You understand? So the challenge is with the ministry, right? With the ministry overriding the councillors, So we cannot expect the councillors to take accountability over the policy that they didn't, or the resolution that they didn't make. The challenge that we have is that we have an authoritarian regime that wants to control everything, right? That wants to control everything. That's where the problem is. Look at how council is passing their budget. Council come up with their budget after consulting their residents, right? Then that budget is sent to the minister. The minister has to approve that budget, And minister look at the budget of what I want. It's beside. He takes it beside. But when ask to see such situation in the background, how then do you come up with my solutions without even understanding?
Yes.
The realities of the people.
So okay, what then can councillors do for their people? Well, if you had power to influence, like councillors, so what would you do?
Anything that is not passed by the councillor must be rejected. It's as simple as that. Everything that comes through the minister, without them being consulted, without them even putting their input, must be rejected. Must be rejected. But the challenge now is if you understand how the governance of council is. So we do have the administration, which is the town clerk, right? Who is responsible for the day-to-day running of business of council, right? Then to make what? Resolutions and policy, right? So now when the directive comes, it doesn't go through the councillors. It goes through the administration, right? And the administration, they don't go executor without even updating the councillors. So councillors do wafonera mukupwanya zvinhu zvevanhu. Why? Of what? Hatitoziva zvikuitika.
Vanenge vakatotsva.
Varikuziva because iri kuoverridwa, you know. So it's a challenge of governance rather than anything else. It's a challenge of governance. Yeah, right.
So does this also explain why if you go to my shopping center, I'll not lie. Yeah, it's not looking good. And they're gonna go vans up. Our very own town center. Right now, as we are approaching August, kungomira ipapo just 2 minutes, unosvika wakutongechigura warwa nedust. It's so dusty. Hapana kana lights. It doesn't give a vibe to the town center. Is it also the same issues that you are?
Well, it's different. Yeah. But to answer your question, we need to look at how my revenues a council kwarukuva. My revenue a council anova from my ratepayers. You know, another source of revenue is devolution. Right? My devolution funds. Though my major source is a Norton, if I is revenue. Kutuva kwanso ku execute their operations. Yes. Right. Let's look at my ratepayers. You know. Majority of my ratepayers vanish credit to council. They are not paying their rates. Why are they not paying their rates? You are an older person, you know. And so wakashanda. Now why retire?
Yes.
You are getting $40. For $40 ipapo. Popa ni mari rate, popa ni mari chikafu, popa ni mari medication. So chauno prioritize apa mari awechi. You rather prioritize
my survival.
Your survival,
yes.
Right? Uvo ani glitter cancel. So and vangu they are not working, you know, in our community. How then do you expect those people to pay my rates? You know, although it's very important for them to pay my rates. But they don't have. Right now, our economy is only where people are focusing on surviving.
Yes.
They are only focusing on surviving. A civil servant who's getting paid $270 with 3 kids, how do you want that person to survive? Ada ubada renti, ada ubada chikavu, ada peka, ada mare transport. You understand? So, in that case now, the revenue for council, innovator suffer. Let's look at the devolution funds. Our constitution says that government must, through their budget, allocate 5% of the budget towards devolution.
Yes.
You know, look at the years. Recently, the minister Akatotauro to have been failing to meet that obligation of the constitution.
Yes.
You know, council yakapesa ku receive my devolution funds when? You know, when? Kudara. You know, so where do they get the money for them to fund the roads, for them to improve the service delivery? You understand?
So vakutongoita mashortcut
vakutongoita kuchanjiridza zviripo ngodai anopona kuti zviite sei zvifambe anopona. If you look at their sources through Zinara, they get fuel allocation, they get certain amount in Zig. It's not even that much. I think it's last time Pandaka Cheka in 2024. They receive about close to 100,000.
It's not much.
You know, 100,000. 100,000 imazing. Ndoyo dosaka uchizona vachizo ira gravel vachizo pecha vasikunyaso resurface at the roads because havana ma resources. You know, havana ma resources. So that's where the challenge is. That's where the challenge is. You know, as far as we may say, shakati, but the council, to be honest with you, if we are to have a serious and honest conversation, council, ahina mari, yeku deliver not deliver, ahina mari, you know. So that's where the problem is. And the problem isn't what the problem one. It's actually
they're intertwined.
They're intertwined. You know? So we need to deal with the issue of jobs. We need to deal with the issue of paying people money. It's no tenga. So it's a big challenge. Yeah.
Interesting. Right. To the youth out there, there are many people who are talking about opportunities. Maybe at school, opportunity. do we have special economic zones here in Norton that maybe young people can take advantage of? Do you have other businesses, grants to government? Is there anything in place like that to the young people?
So through the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, because if you look at young people, majority of them they have great ideas, but the problem is the capital.
Yes,
So there's empowerment bank, right? That is there to help young people to access loans at a cheaper rate.
Yes,
but now this bank is not. I don't think it's built for purpose because it's being funded through the treasury and through the budget. We actually every year we allocate money towards that. So we need the bank is not that operational like that.
Yes.
Yeah, you find kuti young people unoenda unoti tulo mari vonza kuna mari. It's underfunded,
yes.
So but that's another avenue that that was created to deal with my issues of young people. But the problem is that and okay, another issue in local council problem the challenge because the local council is also a governing body here in Norton, which also make policies in terms of uplifting young people, right? But the challenge that we're having is that we didn't have young people in local councils, right? So that's why I managed to push for 10% quota system in local governance, right? So that when policies are being crafted in local councils, young people can also have a voice, right? To say that whatever that, maybe it's land that is being, or more open spaces for business that are being created.
Yes.
Let's also have our own 10% from that for young people, right? So though that's another strategy that I have come up with. And that proposal amendment, which was going to amend section 277, was actually approved by Parliament.
Okay.
So now we are going to see more young people which we are through the quota system in the local governments. Once we occupy those spaces now, we are able to advocate for ourselves as young people, right? Whether it's been land, whether through anything that is coming out from council, we then ask ourselves, where's the percentage of young people? It improves of transparency, it improves accountability, representation as well. So that's what we have done. Yeah.
Okay. So just a short break. Right, Honorable. As a country, as a constituency, which surrounded biased in the Norton, we feel like there's a lot of red tape as far as conducting business. One, there are so many taxes. Two, there's so much paperwork, so many licenses. Yes, we know the government has been try to cut us, okay, with this customer prices, this and that. But we feel good as the proper speed, encourage growth and development of small businesses. What's taking so long?
What's taking so long in terms of my reforms?
Yes, in terms of reforms.
So this is probably a question for okay, what's taking so long? Maybe political will. Yeah, maybe there's a lack of political will. Because there are, when some people, like in politics, there are people that will probably be benefiting from the current situation or the current status quo. So for them to come with with a quick change to say to propose another way of, okay, let's go this way, whilst they were benefiting from those things, it's you face a resistance. So I think that's what is happening. But reforms is not a one-day thing.
Yes, of course.
Right. It's not a one-day thing. They take time. They take time. If you look at the countries that are successful, one day GDP yato over 100 billion.
Yes.
Yeah, yato trillion. Like it's a process. It takes time. But I think lack of political will is the major problem when it comes to dealing with my reforms, which are necessary to deal with my institutional reforms. Yeah.
So as young people, what can we do? We just wait?
No, we cannot wait. We cannot wait. So this is why it's very important for young people not to be passive when it comes to the issues of dealing with the government, right? That's why we have said that a decision, a young person has to be there.
Yes.
Right? He has to be there. Whether be executive whether parliament, whether council, when very important decisions that are being made, which has to do with young people, right? Remember, we are 60% of the population.
Yes.
We are the majority. So how can we have the minority making decisions over the majority? It does not make sense. So we have to have young people there. That's why we have said, moved out the quota system in the local council to say, young people, go there, when decisions of lands are being made, let's have a voice. Ask those people that are making decisions, where's the opportunities for young people?
Yes.
Right. And that's the only way, I think, where we young people can also participate in the growth of our country, in the economic growth of our country. We have to be every space that that is there. And every space that where decisions are being made, we have to be part and parcel of that. Any discussion of maybe resources allocation of anything, the young people to finally report, to demand our own share.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that's what we need to do. And that's what we are doing actually. Yeah. So that's why we came up with that reform. I think that's one of the most important reforms that I have come up with. To include young people in the local authorities, because local authorities they play a critical role.
Yeah, they do.
They play my open spaces. Where especially young people are HD to one over.
I was in South Africa the whole of April this year, and I was fortunate enough to travel to many small towns, a lot of small towns. What I noticed there is they are big on community projects, community centers, training centers, libraries. They are big on that, and they have a system where I can go there and get information on anything. Free internet. I can look for any book that I want. But but still, whatever research and data, it got me thinking, it's in a library, per council, but it's barely functional. It's as good as that, Do we have any community centers? I can't even think of any. Public community centers. Do we have a place where Tampera Bora Chapel? Yes, we have Nkoni Citizen, but it has been privatized. What is your vision for Norton in the future, in the coming years?
So vision as far as maybe creating these spaces. So right now so let me just highlight some of the projects that are underway.
Yes, please do.
So right now we have found a funder who wants to fund a school in Marshlands.
Okay.
So a high school. So I'm very excited about that project. So Adakuwaka a high school, and the fund is Sunny Fei.
Okay.
Actually, the Chinese. Wadaku my plans are always vakatoita approve. So chasara ndichongoti vaite sei vangotanga the project
Yes.
Marshlands for chikoro. Then for library, it's it's something that is very important that we must actually look into. I think we need to approach one of our companies, because library karipo even if I got motivating even. But I think Norton Town Council had actually budgeted to build that library.
Yes.
So I'm sure Nema resources are they are able to build that library. So it's going to improve my access to information and also
Yes.
But another project that I have is I want to come up with my Wi-Fi zones, right, community. So I've been talking with the Minister of ICT, Honorable Mavitera. So they have promised us to give us my Starlinks. So we are going to install my Starlinks centers Norton, right? So for young people to window get information, they have access to the internet as well. So that's something that we are working on. But basically, as far as that's what we are doing. And but we as MPs we get CDF, which is about 50,000 in local currency. So, but we have so many challenges.
Yes.
It's not just an issue for young people. We have issues of health. We have issues of infrastructure. We have issues of drugs and stuff. There are so many issues issues of water. So many things that we need to deal with, and we don't have Mariaka Wand and no one sort of address my challenge there. But CDF at this time, because we are planning to because uchifamba uchienda nekuoda festuko.
Yes.
Manheru pakamboitika about vanhu 2 vakafa sometime back.
Yes.
So pari dark papa, but this is the main road that people use vachienda kuNorway. So we are planning to put my street lights that road yese kunosvika kuNorway ichinobudira kusvika around kunana Katanga uko.
Yes.
Ichinoita ichinobudira ikoko. But also another important thing, the access to water. Though another issue that we are planning to always want to address, because water is life. So we have, for the past time, we have drilled about, I think, 8 boreholes in our community.
Okay.
Yeah, these are solar boreholes. I know one it's in this town. But the challenge at night, the water treatment plant that everyone always talk about when it comes to water, like inonida mari yakawandisa singaita. So but for the short term period, because vanhu vakumbukana 2am vachinonochera mvura, hakuna mvura. Vana vadiki vari kundonomira kuspenda time yavo instead of kuvaverenga kuspenda time yavo vachiita zvekuchera mvura instead of vachiita zvemabhuku. So zvinoreva kuti that girl child economically behind.
Yes.
Right. So for us, that's why we have suggested to say, okay, for now, let's just deal with the issue of boreholes. But in the long term, the plan of having our water treatment plant is the Norton Town Council was raising on feasibility study, and is already out now, right? So for now, we are looking at how the models of funding that project, right? We want to engage with the private sector as well, so that they can participate. But also, if we engage with the private sector, we also make sure that water is yakudhura kune ma-residents.
Yes, yes.
We know, which will probably contradict our effort of what access to water.
Yes.
You know, so we also want to make sure, even if we go the private sector way, we want to make sure that water is it's also cheaper for everyone, right? So that's the issue that we are dealing with. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, you know, people have different sentiments. I'm sure you hear a lot of hearsay. The most recent issue engaged in, I think this one is more national. Ye Cap 3. Right. Imimi Makataro to Cap 3 people of Norton, they said no. Which was then you voted no in Parliament. Right. Now that Cap 3 Ashaka passes still, come 2028, are you going to resign?
So what if you've been following me over the past years, how I've been conducting my representation role, Norton. I've been before making any drastic decision, I've been consulting people, right? So that's the same thing that when everyone was saying that MPs must resign, I called a meeting and I consulted people. And people said, no, do not resign, right? And then fast forward, when it came to Cap 3, remind you that I called for a meeting, and then that meeting a state,
yes,
right? And then I went through my WhatsApp channel and I tried to consult people, to give people a voice before I make any decision. Let's hear what people are saying, right, about this particular issue. And majority of the people, right, if you go through the polls that I did, majority of the people, they were not in support of the bill, right? So when we speak in Parliament every time, we don't speak our personal positions, right? We speak positions of the people. That's why we are there to represent or to amplify the voices of people in Parliament, right? So you do that after consulting people. So back to your question of resigning in 2028. Now the bill that is passed, right? We are going to go back to, I'm going to call a meeting as well, right? So that we can consult the people, right? Because I don't want a situation where I then resign or I then stay to Parliament. Then when people come to me and say, who gave you that mandate to resign? Who gave you that mandate to say, you got a Parliament? Why would I say? Understand? So that's why it's very important at every decision that I make or that I take, I have to first consult the people of Norton so that I get their voices. Twitter say this is the situation that we face as a community. What then do we do? Right? I think that's the proper way of dealing with the politics that we have. You know, you cannot just make a drastic decision to say that, okay, I'm going to resign, but after consulting who?
Then what?
You know, it's a violation to almost close to 15,000 people that voted for me.
Yes.
You understand? That trusted me. You know, so back then in the resign. Come 2020, maybe I'm still young, I still want to maybe represent the people. I come back to the people for what even. Takakupa chance of resign. You know? Takakupa chance of resign. You know? Now, tokuvotera futi pakaitika situation yataitika kuwakaresign usina to consult, what's then going to happen? Pakati zoni wakagara muparliament iwewe tisina kuwirirana, you know, now wadzoka futi takakuvhotera ugoita futi zvemusoro wako kuenda ikoko, you know. So the point that I'm trying to make is I will consult the people of Norton, you know, on the way forward, right? On the way forward, because this is the people that trusted me after all, with their vote. So everything decision that I make, I have to make sure that they are at the center of that decision, and they can own that decision collectively. Like the decision that I make to vote no, everyone can literally proud to say that this is our decision that we took as Norton, because I consulted them. Of course, we do find people that way, but it's democracy after all, where the majority gets their way and the majority have their say.
Okay. So whatever the people say is what you do.
That's the position.
If they say resign,
I will resign.
You resign
confidently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still have future aspirations to represent the people of Norton again?
Well, it's I strongly believe the decision, it will be determined by, guided by the people at the end of the day. If the people still say that we want you to represent us, I'll still continue. But if they don't want, I won't participate, because going to an election and spending all that money for you to lose, I would rather channel that money to improve my life and to other important things rather than going to an election. So I normally take a poll like during election, so that's just to gauge where what people are saying. So if people are saying that, Richard, you have saved us, we don't want you anymore, then I'll be like, it's fine, it's fine. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Then I'll resign. That's what I would do.
And how reachable are you? Do you have a constituency office? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so because of the resources, I don't have the constituency office, right? Because we are not funded by the parliament, right? And to be honest, I'm still young. I haven't made so much money for me to fund my own constituency office, right? And secondly, so that's the challenge that we have when it comes to constituency office.
Funding.
But I grew up in Norton. Richard. Even MP uri kugalawe, direct MP. So panoshikika anytime, apana imbwa, apana chi. The door is always is open to everyone.
3 a.m.
Wakana 3 a.m. Wakanoko tinokudaira. I do, tokudaira. Even I also have created other avenues for communication, like through my social platform, through WhatsApp group. My phone is always open. One of my challenges, if I'm not reachable,
yes,
right, they can always call me at any time, and I'm always going to answer. Right? Yeah, I have families that have called me around 3 a.m. and Dr. Mota no drive to find the hospital. To badra mabuse, you understand? So we are always, and this is coming from a point where I'm a person that has been find passion in serving people, right? Whether I'm in the office or I'm not, but serving is what it's my purpose.
Yes.
Right. I like to serve, and I like to create, to see change in certain things in people's lives. That's what my purpose is in this life. Right. So I'll always, whether with office or not, I'm still going to be able to help people. I'm still have to do all these things to serve people.
Yes.
In short, yeah.
So you said that you said that you're into real estate. You still are. Do you have time for business with your busy schedule?
Yeah, I do. But what's very important is to find that balance in life. Like without that balance, your life will just crumble. Right? It's very important to always find balance in every situation. So I do have time to attend to my business as well. Yes. At the same time, attending to the constituency. Yeah.
Pani kuti malone ma 40,000 yakambo pieces some time ago.
Right.
Right. Since mutu malone, tell us, Imimi, personally, so on the MP.
Yeah.
Were you for or against those loans?
So my loans are pure. My MPs from in the previous parliament, which was the 9th parliament. We're now in 10th parliament. 10th parliament, we haven't received any loan, right? So I think the issue of loans has to be done in a transparent way, right? And people need to know kuti mari yacho yabva kupi, and kana munhu apiwa maloni, we also need to know kuti achabhadhara here. How can we trace that loan? You know, me, I'm not against, as long as it's a loan that you're going to pay back with an interest. I don't see anything wrong with that, to be honest with you. If it's a loan, right? You apiwa a loan, you know, and if you are given a loan and you're going to pay back with an interest, then I have no problem with that, as long as our money is coming back. Yeah, the challenge now happens when the money is not coming back. That's where the problem is. Because
the problem is it's a bribe. You know, even the vehicles, I mean, they're all interested in getting vehicles. They have been, you know.
So, Inini, I think one of my purposes is to show that public life is not about personal interest, but about the people that you're serving, right? That's where that's what I want to prove to people, that no, it's okay not to have a car as a member of parliament, right? It's okay, but I think just having a car makes, because you'll be traveling a lot, right? And then it's just a way of like capacitating you as a member of parliament, because, if you don't have a car, how then are you going to, move around the constituency? How then are you going to, because you travel as members of parliament, this is a national duty.
Yes.
Right? You travel when nasi uruku Bedbridge, wana uruku Bulawayo, so you do a lot of traveling. So now, well, people I see it why people are complaining about it, to say that is it a priority at the moment? Because we have a lot of things that are happening in our country that need funding. Our hospitals are not funded. So I think it's an issue of finding a balance, right? To say that how can we capacitate the members of parliament, at the same time we are not taking away the money that's supposed to
build the nation,
build the nation, build our hospitals, build our education system, and build our roads, right? I think what is very important is to find a balance, right? Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I would, if I was outside,
but did you come and consult?
And suddenly receive a maloni. No, 10th Parliament has not received any loan, only housing loans at all.
Oh, okay.
So my loans akabuda last year, not last year. My loans akabuda during 9th Parliament. My previous MPs of 9th Parliament, 10th Parliament. 10th Parliament has not received any loan.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't received any loan, right? Of course, we have had my situation whereby Panumpa Chitwa budget, people have talked about it, right? We've talked about it, but it hasn't. We haven't been given any loans, right? So I think for me, everything that I've done it in a transparent way.
Yes.
It's little things that I have received. Be from CDF, I received. I put up a publication to the people of Norton to say that I have received so much,
Yes.
And even if how we are going to spend that money, right? We have a CDF committee, that goes around consulting.
Every cent is audited.
Every cent is audited. If you want to go through my books at Parliament right now, they will show you what Maria CDF Yakashanda say. It's last cent, right? Right. Even if to come up with the rice receiver from the minister, I put up a publication. We have received so much. This is how we're gonna distribute the rice, right? These are the beneficiary. You can actually follow, right? To the last rice. Right? Recently, I put up a application post a few days ago to say that we are looking for 6 young people that are interested in governance and all those things, right? We have a youth model parliament that is coming up to parliament. Please, those that are interested, from 18 to 35 send your CV.
Yes.
Right.
Have you received anything?
Yes, we have. Young people have actually showed interest.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, so I think I have received close to like 50 applications from young people, right? And we are supposed to choose 6. And we have come up with a committee that's going to come up with choose those 6 people, you know. So everything is done in a transparent way, right? I believe in transparency. I believe in honesty. I believe in accountability, right?
Wonderful.
I believe in those things. Those are the things that I believe in. So we've put up, so young people have applied. We're going to choose 6 people that are going to represent Norton, right, at the Youth Model Parliament. And this selection is being done through a merit-based. It's a merit-based, right? So I'm one of what I am center because mom to never. So everything is going to be done in a transparent way, so that we try to, you know, to have credibility in in whatever that we are doing. You know,
wonderful. All right, to wrap up, Honorable, any last words to the people of Norton?
Well, to the people of Norton, first of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity that you have given me to be able to serve you as the youngest members of Parliament in the history of Norton. I want to thank you so much for having that confidence and trust in me. And secondly, I understand we are facing so many challenges that we're going through as a community, economically, socially, politically, right? And these challenges are not a challenge of members of Parliament only. These are challenges that are affecting us. Or if you look at the issue of water, we are also being affected. We don't have water. My also struggle with the issue of water. So we do have, my challenges are going to affect her at a personal level as well. So I'm doing everything in my power, everything that I can to make sure that when I leave this office, I leave Norton in a better place than I found it. And let's keep working together for those that, and these challenges, they require a holistic approach. Let's put our hands together and work together to deal with the challenges that we are facing as a community. But I want you to believe in me that I'm doing everything in my power to deal with the challenges that we are facing as a community. Thank you.
Honorable Richard Tsvangirayi, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.